Hello, this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you for joining me again today. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in the UK, and I am here to showcase Stampin' Up products to inspire your crafting, really. Today I am joining in with the Stamp Around UK blog video hop, where a group of us UK demonstrators come together to showcase products and each post something on our video channels with a theme. And our theme for today is geometric. So you could think any sort of shape: squares, triangles, circles, and as you can see I've gone with triangles because I'm using the very, very lovely and so worthwhile getting stitched rectangle die set. You get all of these dies in the set, so it's such good value for money. I can't remember how much it is. Give me a second, I might be able to find out. Just grab my very, very dog-eared catalogue because I've used it so much. So let's see, where are the triangles? There. So £33, but you get 19 dies, so that's less than £2 a die. So you get loads of dies in this and all different sorts of triangles. So really great, really, really great for men's cards, I think, these dies. And I love them, and the stitched effect just makes them even better. So not only do you cutting out triangles, but you're getting the stitched effect. So we're going to make this card today. Like I say, great for male cards, really great for men's cards, these. And I'm going to show you how I made it. So we're going to start off with a card blank. Now I'm going to change up the colours a little today. So in this one, what you really need to get this effect is to have 3 colours that is the same tone but just gets lighter. So here I use Smoky Slate, Basic Grey and Basic Black, and here I used Pool Party, Coastal Cabana and Bermuda Bay. So those were my colour combinations. Today I'm going to use Pacific Point, and then I'm going to use 2 other blues to go with Pacific Point. So I'm going to use Balmy Blue and Night of Navy. So those are my 3 blues. And then I'm also going to use Soft Sea Foam. We're going to go some greens. Soft Sea Foam, Mint Macaron and Just Jade. There's my little Just Jade here. So we're going to go with greens as well. So we're going to have blues and greens. So that kind of colour scheme. So let's show you. So we're going to start off with our card blank. This measures, I think, 14 and a half. I think I'm right in saying, or 15. This one made just short of 15. But that doesn't matter. Doesn't need to be exact measurement. So just score this at 10, and this is half an A4 sheet. So we're going to score at 10 and a half, which will be half way along there, and just score and just burnish that along there, get a nice crisp crease. One of my go-to tools, my bone folder, wouldn't want to be without. If I was stranded on a desert island and needed a card kit, a crafting kit, my bone folder would definitely be amongst my must-have items. Right, and then we need a white panel. Now, for some reason, I've put my white panel away somewhere. Let me just find a white panel here. Here we go. I tend to cut out loads and loads of white panels out of our normal Whisper White because I quite often use a coloured card base and then a Whisper White panel. So what we want is this to layer and to just have a little border around there. So if I measure the card blank exactly, it should be 10 and a half, and I think it was 14.8, which doesn't make it very easy for measuring. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each one down by 6 millimeters. So 14 point, oh, I won't be able to use that one, not long enough measurements. Here we go, we use this one. So it was 14.8. so if I take it down by 6 millimeters, so I get a 3 millimeter border each side, it means it needs to be 14.2. So I've just measured up against there, against the measure, 14.2, and then this way round needs to be 9.9 because it was 10.5 and I'm taking off 6 millimeters. So there we go. So hopefully that will give us an equidistant border around our cards, like so. There we go. Yep, good. Okay, so just going to bone fold the edges, because I don't like the little lip that you get when you use the trimmer. So I just want to smooth the sides down. There we go. Right, and that is going to go onto there. So we can do that first of all. Take my Tombow. Oh, I haven't had this standing up in my pot, so it's not flowing as easily as it might. There we go. Right, there we go. Try and get it close to the edges so the edges stick down nicely. But not too much glue so that it all bulges out when we stick it down. You don't want lots of sticky glue everywhere. So just... Now to make our card we need 6 triangle shapes, layered triangle shapes. So 3 in one colour and 3 in the other colour. So I have already done the blue ones. So there are my 3 ones in the blue. Like I say, the colours are Balmy Blue, Pacific Point and Night of Navy. And now we're going to do the green ones. I've die cut all the shapes already. They're from these ones, which are equilateral triangles, and they are the 3 smallest shapes. So I've used the 3 smallest triangle dies to cut my shape. And so you can just cut in whatever colours. Of course, they don't have to be gradients of colour. You could just use different colours, I guess. I haven't tried that, but you could do. Right, okay, so if I say that these are going to be the blue ones, there we go. Well, not quite the same, but there we go. Right, so I'm going to twist, because they're just different in different positions, so I don't want them all to be the same. So I'm going to do this one first. So I'm going to put a bit of glue on here, but again, doesn't need to be precise. It's quite an abstract design, so you don't need to be exact. There we go. So, and then that one just goes there. So I'm just going to do them in. There's lots and lots of variations of ways you could put these 3 triangles together. So I'm just choosing 3. So that one is that one. And now we're going to do this one. Like so. Goes in that corner. So you've got 3 corners to choose from where to put them, and then 3 corners again for the little one. So there's lots and lots of variations of where you could put these. So that one goes there. So this is a really, really good card. Before, I think I've told you before, but before I came across Stampin' Up, I'd been a card maker, and I have another little business. I make quilled cards. So I had been paper crafting and making quilled cards for quite a long time, but I hadn't really done very much stamping. I had originally bought a few stamps, a few sentiment stamps to put on my quilled cards. Hadn't really done a lot of stamping apart from that. And so I used to make... when I wasn't quilling, I used to make a lot of cards that were just dies. I used to buy a lot of dies and just make cards with dies without any stamping at all. And I do revert back to that quite often. I quite like the look of cards that are made with dies and not necessarily any stamping. Right, okay, so we've got that. So we now need to transfer these to this card page, this one. So we're just going to lay them down roughly where we think they ought to go. Just manipulate them until you've got a pleasing pattern. Maybe bring them down a little bit, and then you can start gluing like that. Does that look okay? Yep, okay. So just a little bit of Tombow on the back of all of these. So it's a very, very simple little card to make, this one. But like I say, it would be great for mail cards when you don't know. I don't know about you, but quite a lot of the men I know, some of them don't drink. So they don't like, you know, haven't necessarily got any interest in boats or cars. It's difficult to think of a theme. With females, I think it's always easy. You can do flowers or butterflies, or, you know, there's always a theme you can go with females. but with males I think it's much more easy, and geometric cards I think fill the gap quite nicely, because they're not actually, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be anything that the men are actually interested in. We do, Stampin' Up has quite a lot of male themed stamp sets, but I never feel that they're very appropriate for the men in my life, because like I said, they don't tend to, I mean, my husband's very interested in sailing, so I do occasionally, and at the moment he's cycling a lot, so our anniversary cards, I took a bit of clip art actually, made him a card with a cyclist on it. But he's not really a big drinker. He does drink, but he's not really a big drinker. I don't think he'd appreciate a card with necessarily any drink on it. So always a bit tricky. But like I say, geometric works a treat. Right, there we go. So I'm going to put that one a bit lower. So you can just fiddle around with the positioning of these if you want to. And then that one there. So I haven't done them quite, you know, they're a bit higgledy-piggledy. So there we go, and there we go. So there we go, that's the front of our card. So all we need to do now is the greeting, the sentiment. So we're going to do that on a piece of Pacific Point this time. So I did it on black on this one. That was the darkest colour I'd used on the card. As Night of Navy is the darkest colour, but I thought actually I'd do it on Pacific Point so it links up with the card blank. So I have mounted Happy Birthday from the Well Said set here. Might take you a little while because they're separate stamps. It might take you a little while to get them lined up. It did take me quite a little while, so just be patient and get them lined up. I would love a nice Happy Birthday in a line like this, but we don't seem to have one in the catalogue at the minute. I think I might put, we have a place where we can put ideas for things, for products for Stampin' Up to come up with, so I think I might put that as an idea. Right, and then I need my Versamark pad. And we're going to stamp on here. So it doesn't particularly matter if it's not completely straight, because we're going to be cutting this out in a minute. Just grab my heat gun, which is stuck. Hang on a sec. Cable had got caught, and then we just need to put some white embossing powder on here. Did you notice I didn't mention it, but I used my embossing buddy before. We don't actually sell them anymore at Stampin' Up, but I did have a quick look on Amazon the other day, and there's the Woodware make one. So if you wanted an embossing buddy, which is just very, very fine powder to prevent getting specks of embossing powder on dark card when you're embossing. Right, and we'll just wait for this to heat up. Like so, and the magic happens. There we go. And then we need to trim this down. So we are going to trim. Use my little trimmer here to do this. Now I need to make sure it's straight. Don't want a wonky Happy Birthday. So hopefully that is fairly straight. Don't know if it is quite actually. Let's see. Just takes a little bit of, yeah, that looks a bit better. And then we cut in with this side and trim off there as well. There we go. And then this, I'm going to trim it, so I need it trimmed down there, and then I want it trimmed maybe back there. And I'm going to use my banner punch. Pick a banner, I think this is called. I can never remember what this punch is called. I need to look it up before I come on camera, really. It's in the mini catalogue, I think, the Christmas one. And then and that will give you a nice fishtail banner. Lots of bits of paper to get rid of. And then that is just going to go wherever you feel it was placed properly across the middle there. And I'll show you both of the cards together in a minute so that you can see the difference. Right, we're just going to put this up on dimensionals. So it's up to you. You can use the bigger, the normal ones that we had out first, or our mini ones, which were a later addition to the catalogue, but which I used quite a lot, like so. And it just means that if you use the smaller ones, they go a bit further because you get more, so it might last a bit longer. Save your pennies for buying more stamp sets or dies or punches or things, more interesting things. There we go. And there. And that is our card made. So a very nice geometric card. So there we are, we've got the two of them. Very nice geometric card. Made with the stitched triangle dies, which I love. And I hope you do too. So I thank you for joining me. Please carry on. The links are all below this video. If you go down, you will see all the links to all the other videos in the hop. So please have a hop round. Loads and loads of inspiration for you. Loads and loads of this month, loads of geometric designs. So it'll be really interesting to see what all the other designers have made. But yeah, please do keep hopping around. And if you have time to leave anyone a message, I know everyone would really appreciate having a little comment on their video. So if you have time to do that, that would be great too. But that's it from me today. Thank you for joining us here on the Stampin' Round UK hop. And we'll be back next month, the first of the next month, with another project and another video hop for you. So thanks very much. Have a lovely day. And that's all from me today. Bye.